Ja, herzlich willkommen zur neuen Ausgabe vom SE Talk, mein letztes Interview in Vancouver, Mai 2017. Und bei mir ist eine neue Firma, ich habe es bis vor kurzem eigentlich nicht gekannt. Und ich werde jetzt einfach einmal den Leuten auf den Zahn fühlen. Es geht um Comstock Metals, nicht verwechseln mit Comstock Mining, die in Amerika drunter sind. Comstock Metals ist eine andere Firma. Und neben mir ist David Terry und er wird mir einiges einmal erzählen, was die Company so macht. David, thank you to have time. And I said this in my introduction. They should not you mix it up with a Comstock Mining.
Yes, that's a different company.
It's a different company. They have their project in US. I don't know is they in production or not, but I think they are in production. And yeah, you're a total different company, but what are you doing?
Well, we're a Canadian-focused exploration company, so our primary project...
But also gold?
We're focused on gold, yes. We do have some uranium projects and a project in Mexico, but our two flagship projects are located in the Yukon, in Canada, and Saskatchewan.
Saskatchewan gold?
That's right.
That sounds a little bit... Saskatchewan is for me...
We're off a little bit southeast of where all the uranium is.
Yeah, I know Saskatchewan for uranium and maybe a little bit for oil. There was some deals are for oil, but not for gold. So is this one of the flagship projects?
It is, and it's had a fair bit of work done on it. It's called Preview Southwest. It's located road accessible. It's 40 kilometers north of the community of L'Orange in central northern Saskatchewan. And it's in this belt, Proterozoic rocks called the L'Orange Gold Belt. Similar host to the CB mine, which you might have heard of. It was operated by a company called Claude Resources for many years. They produced, I think, over 1 million ounces of gold out of it, and it was acquired by Silver Standard this past year. I think it was a $400 million deal or something like that. So we're in the same belt of rocks as that, about 80 kilometers away from their operation.
And you say there are still, or there was a previous work on it, so it's not a grassroots project. You have some data.
That's right. There's been several companies work on it. I think there's been more than 26,000 meters of historical drilling. It was most of that work was done by the predecessor to Cameco, SMDC. And so we've got a great database of drilling and other information to work with. We've got all the historical drill core.
But no resource calculations so far?
There is both an indicated and inferred resource on the property, current 43-101 compliant resource. It's available on our website, and the indicated portion of that is about 158,000 ounces. And the inferred is 270,000 ounces.
Okay, not bad. And the average grade?
The average grade of the indicated is 1.9 grams, and inferred is around 1.5. And it's a pit constrained resource, so it's at surface.
How deep is the?
It goes down to about 150 meters depth. It's the deposit itself is 500 meters along strike. To the southwest northeast, and it's about 150 meters wide.
It's not really deep, so it's is it oxide?
No. This is a sulfide hosted mineralization. It's associated. It's similar to Archean gold deposits, but it's in Proterozoic rocks, so it's shear zone hosted, structurally controlled, quartz veining with gold mineralization.
What you're planning this year, maybe that?
Well, we've just completed a winter drilling program, 1,800 meter drilling program, focused primarily on the northern zone, which is 2.5 kilometers to the north of the deposit itself. And we drilled 5 holes there.
Do you have results so far?
We've put out the results for the first 3 holes, and we're expecting the remainder to come very soon. And we basically stepped out on a hole that was drilled in 2013 to try. It was a very high grade hole. It had 3 separate gold intercepts in it, and so we stepped out on either side of that and then down below it to try to expand the area of mineralization. We were successful. Each hole hit multiple gold zones. I think the highlight was 5 meters at 10 grams. So. So
that was my next question.
Very close to surface.
When we say high grade, what this mean?
Yeah.
You have intersects with more or with 10 grams.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah. You say this is 2.5 kilometers.
So this is a structurally controlled zone of gold mineralization, and along the trend going northeast from the deposit area, there's a number of gold showings, and some of them have had several holes drilled into them. And this is the furthest north one, so it's about 2.5 kilometers away from the deposit. But there's a number of other areas in between those 2 points that have good potential. They just they haven't had enough drilling to really determine whether there's deposits there or not.
That normally means that all these little deposits or gold showing are connected together. So that's
well, they're certainly part of the same system. Yeah. So we're basically trying to work on identifying other zones of mineralization that could turn into deposits.
Then I think the main reason to do this work is to increase the number of ounces. Then you have indicated and inferred that's around 400,000 ounces together. Yeah. So, but you need, I think, a little bit more that you get the attention from the big ones.
That's what our focus is expanding. And the other 3 holes that we drilled in this winter drilling program were on the northern side of the deposit, looking for expansions and to fill in some areas of where we didn't have as much data as we'd like. So those results are still to come out, and they'll be coming out in the next little while.
Okay, this was the winter program. So it means maybe you have also a summer program too.
We've got a summer program in the planning stages right now, and so we took a break to basically get all our results back from the winter drilling program, and to wait for the everything to melt and dry up a little bit. As I said, it is a road accessible project, but it's about 10 or 11 kilometers off of the main road, and so we want to we don't want to make a mess with the thing. Sure. So we are going to be getting back to work probably within the next month or so.
Do you have any ideas how large will be the program, the drill program, or the working program in this area?
We haven't put together a particular number of meters yet, but it'll be significant, and it'll focus both on the deposit area and some of these areas along strike.
You say you have 2 flagship projects, so this is one of them.
That's right. So this one in Saskatchewan we acquired through a transaction just this past summer. So we closed the deal in September. But Comstock has had for a number of years this project in the Yukon. It's called QV. It's in the White Gold District, and it occurs immediately to the north of the block of ground called the White Gold Project that was owned by Kinross Gold Corporation. They acquired it through a takeover of Underworld a number of years ago, and there's just recently been a deal announced between Kinross and a new company called White Gold Corp to acquire that project. So there's been a recent deal on the project immediately to the south of Comstock's property.
And what are you planning on this project?
So Comstock acquired the QV property in 2010. They carried out surface exploration programs, soil sampling, geophysics, and then they started a drill program on one showing called VG in 2012, and they carried about 3,500 meters or so of drilling in 2012 and 13, and they came up with a 43101 compliant initial maiden resource of 230,000 ounces of 1.6 grams, again pit constrained resource, and this is on the southern part of the property, and then the whole junior mining scene kind of went into a decline, and there was no more work done on it until 2016. I got involved with Comstock, and we restructured the company and carried out several financings, and we started a work program last summer on QV that involved again sort of following up surface work in a number of areas on the property, and then we went in with a RAB drill basically to drill as many holes as we could around the deposit and in a couple of other areas to basically provide a screen where we could see areas that had potential for expansion, and that we could go back in with the diamond drill. So that's what we did last year. We had some quite good results, both on the northeast side of the deposit and on the west side of the deposit particularly.
What do you mean good results?
Well, on the west side of the deposit, we drilled a step-out hole with the RAB drill, And RAB isn't an acronym for rotary air blast. It's not something that we can incorporate into a resource estimate, but it's a good to test for things down to 100, 150 meters depth. So we stepped out about 50 meters to the west and to the down dip on the previous drilling that had been carried out on the deposit, and we intersected with hole, I think it was hole 17, an intercept that was about 58 meters of 1.9 grams, and within that there was a higher grade interval of 12 meters of 5.5 grams. So that's one of the higher grade drill holes that have been drilled on the deposit, and so that's where we're going to focus with our initial work when we get back to work in the Yukon.
But then now you start with diamond drilling or something?
We're going to have to use diamond drilling to expand the deposit, yeah. So we're putting together our plans right now.
But there's also a shallow project. It's not really going too deep.
No. The deposit itself comes to surface. It outcrops over about a 350 meter strike length, so and it dips to the north at about 30-40 degrees.
That means also should it come in the future to a production decision, it's more open pit style than not underground.
Yeah, and certainly the grades that we have as an average grade. I mean,
it's great for open pit.
Once we're in a situation where if we can develop this higher grade portion that we intersected in hole 17 a bit more, then maybe that's a different story. But,
No, but it's great for open pit is 1.6. Absolutely fantastic.
So that whole area in the Yukon is really sort of seeing a lot of activity right now. You've got this White Gold Corp that have made the deal with Kinross. We had the takeover last year of Kaminak Gold by Gold Corp to acquire their coffee project. That's about 40 kilometers south of our project. And you've seen deals with a lot of other majors coming into the Yukon in general, like Newmont and Barrick with deals in other areas. So
and Kaminak was also well popular in Germany. So especially with the name, I love the project alone with the name. I love.
If you like coffee,
I live half of my life. I live on coffee. So so this was reason that I have a focus on this project too. Are you looking for other projects? Do you looking for that, or you say our two projects are good enough and we're working on it, that we do these two projects really on the proper way, and or are you looking for more acquisitions or whatever?
In this business, you're always looking at projects, and always sort of have your eyes open for a good acquisition or something that makes sense. We're certainly focused on the two main projects that we have right now, and that keeps us very busy. But got to keep your eyes open.
That brings us to the financial side. How much cash you have at the moment?
After paying for all the winter drilling, we're probably in the 2.7, 2.8 range Canadian.
That's fine. That's good for exploration company. How many shares are outstanding?
Just over 73 million shares outstanding.
And do you have an idea what the management have or the insiders?
Between insiders, management, we have a major shareholder that we acquired the Preview Gold project from. They own 20 million shares, so that's about 27%. And between all those groups and a couple of large shareholders that we have, that would add up to about 60% of the stock.
Wow. Yeah. So that's mean that the free float, the really free float, is relatively tight. So and with 2.6 million, you don't need immediately a financing. You're well financed for the next round.
Well, we're financed for our sort of near-term goals in our project, but we'll see how aggressive we get over the summer here.
Exploration is always expensive, and when you're coming up with good numbers, you get also the value for it on the market in general. I think it was a great starting interview. So next time we come over, we see maybe more results, going a little bit more into details. Looks like a little bit in the intercepts what you maybe have. But I think it was a good start one. Ja, das war ein gutes erstes Interview. Es geht darum, sie haben zwei große Flagship-Projekte, wie es so schön heißt. Eines in Saskatchewan, das ist für mich eher unbekannt gewesen, dass dort auch Goldprojekte sind. Aber er hat auch ein paar Referenzen genannt, die es schon dort gibt. Für mich ist es Saskatchewan eher Uran gewesen, aber sie haben dort ein Projekt, das ungefähr 400.000 Unzen hat in allen möglichen Kategorien, ist mit 1,5 bzw. 1,9 Gramm pro Tonne relativ hochgradig, weil es nämlich ein Open Pit ist, also maximal 150 Meter tief. Das ist ein Open Pit, das ist hochgradig eigentlich für Open Pit, muss man ehrlicherweise sagen. Sie haben im Winterprogramm jetzt beendet, kriegen jetzt die Drill Results raus und sie haben sich auch auf Gebiete konzentriert, die nicht in der Ressourcenschätzung drinnen sind, kommen dort auch mit sehr, sehr guten Ergebnissen raus. Natürlich sind noch nicht alle Ergebnisse da, das werden in den nächsten Wochen kommen. Das könnte dementsprechend auch ein bisschen für Potenzial oder Fantasie in der Aktie sorgen. Ja, ein zweites Projekt ist im Yukon. Yukon ist ja jetzt momentan eine ganz heiße Region, es hat ein paar Übernahmen dort gegeben. Unter anderem letztes Jahr das Coffee-Projekt Carmagnac von Goldcorp, die geschluckt worden sind. Sie haben dort auch eine Ressource drauf, um die 200.000 Unzen, auch ungefähr mit 1,5, 1,6 Gramm. Da geht es darum, dass sie es jetzt erweitern und sie haben mir gesagt, sie haben letztes Jahr ein sogenanntes Rap-Drilling dort gemacht, auch ungefähr 100, 150 Meter tief, also auch alles Open-Pit-mäßig. Dieses Rap kann man nicht reinnehmen für die Ressourcenschätzung. Da geht es nur darum, dass man halt wirklich sehen kann, ist was drinnen oder nicht, weil die Bohrungen an sich zu ungenau sind, um die Goldgehalte, die dort gefunden werden, auch in die Kalkulation reinzunehmen. Da gibt es verschiedene Effekte, die zusammenführen und dann konzentriert sich das Gold dann in diesen Gehalte, also in gewisse Gebiete und deswegen kann man es nicht reinnehmen in die Ressourcenschätzung. Aber sie haben dort eine große Sache gehabt, ich kann mich nicht mehr erinnern, wie viel Genaumeter das es waren, aber das war mit über 50 Meter, wo sie ein Intercept gehabt haben mit einer 10 Meter Sektion mit über 5 Gramm. Und das ist extrem hoch, das wollen sie heuer natürlich nochmal nachbohren mit einem Diamantenbohrgerät. Wenn man dann den Kern hat, kann man das in die Ressourcenschätzung aufnehmen. Und das ist echt noch spannender eigentlich aus wie das Projekt in Saskatchewan. Dann habe ich gefragt, natürlich, wie schaut es aus mit Akquisitionen, überlegen Sie irgendwas, sehen Sie irgendwas. Er sagt, Sie kommen natürlich laufend Projekte rein, aber solange Sie 2 Projekte haben, da muss schon wirklich was sehr Gutes reinkommen, dass Sie da irgendwas Neues nehmen. Und was auch ist, 2,7 Millionen haben es Cash. Das ist genug, um dieses Jahr und wahrscheinlich auch Mitte nächstes Jahr rauszukommen, auch mit einem ordentlichen Bohrprogramm. Also da braucht man nicht rechnen, dass das gleich zu Ende ist. Das heißt, die Finanzierung kann man nächstes Jahr wieder rechnen und von daher haben wir auch jetzt ein bisschen Luft. Aktien sind über 70 Millionen draußen, aber 60% in Closed Hand, wie es so schön heißt, also man kennt diese Aktionäre, man weiß, wer die Aktionäre sind und die gehen auch mit der Company, das heißt der Flow ist eigentlich sehr gering und von daher könnte natürlich das Potenzial, wenn sehr gute Bohrergebnisse sind, dementsprechend größer sein, dass die Aktie dementsprechend abliftet. Ja, das war's von Comstock Metals, Mai 2017, Vancouver. Tschüss und Baba. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe.